Shalom. First thing and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Noise in the gospel bride, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is a quick lesson through the spirit. I'm just kind of meditating on some things about being in the truth and what it entails to be in the truth and being a man first and foremost. Before you are considered a man of Yahweh, or as the world called a man of God, you have to become a man in your life first. Okay, and we oftentimes understand that that word man, that term man, has been thrown around very loosely in this current day and age, because according to the world's definition, a man is a person that has the male genitalia, which entails a organ or vessel that contains seminal fluid, which is used to impregnate women. Some people look at it as a man that's strength, courageous, and being able to deal with adversity. Okay, but what does the scriptures entail about being a man of the Lord? Okay, first and foremost, obedience and humbleness, showing the fear of the Heavenly Father is first and foremost. Okay, because King David even said it. He said, though my bow and my strength will not deliver me. So a man just not only entails just having strength alone, but a well-rounded mentality, knowing when to take correction, knowing when to humble down, knowing when to dish out the rebuke, and just having a balanced mindset and showing courage in his ministry. Oftentimes, man, Jake has been bred as the baby boy mentality. As you know, most of our men, they lack a manly mentality because they've grown up in a society that was designed to destroy them and to feminize them or emasculate them. First and foremost, putting the black woman over the home affairs or the marital affairs. Okay, the biggest form of emasculation of the so-called black man, Hispanic and Native American men, is the so-called white male and the so-called black woman, which work hand in hand, tandemly, to do away with your masculinity. And this is the reason why they have what they call toxic masculinity. So fast forward, you grow up with these beta males or with these men that don't really understand how the world works. Then they begin to commit various crimes. They go to prison, they sell drugs, they rob people, they just do a bunch of knucklehead shit because they've been misguided. And ultimately that baby boy mentality, and see, one thing about it, as a man in this society, you fucked either way it go, because if you a man, then they consider you too manly, you too aggressive, you too much, you need to calm down, people are offended in your presence. But the minute you're doing childish shit or you're not stepping up to the so-called task, then they say, you need to man up and become a man. So that word man has loosely been thrown around. But what I noticed as well, coming upon this truth, a lot of Jakes had that baby boy mentality, man. Because we come from all backgrounds, all different walks of life. Most Jakes was raised up in single mother homes when the mother orderly pampers the male and cater to him and puts a spirit of fear and effeminate emotions on him to the point he makes rash decisions, and oftentimes it leads fatal with him going to prison or him being put to death. Okay, so in this truth, it teaches us, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai teaches us first and foremost on what it is to become a man. And the first thing of becoming a man is obedience, man. Okay, understanding and taking correction and ultimately having your shit together. Okay, it's too many of us in this faith that call ourselves men and we don't have our shit together, man. Okay, and that's not throwing shade at brothers, because we're all under curses. We're in deplorable situations and we all come from different backgrounds. But if you in this truth and you got X amount of years in this truth, you should be working to better yourself, man. Okay, you shouldn't oftentimes become a burden to the brotherhood because you want to lay up and be baby boy. No. Okay, us as men, we have to work to get our money. We have to work to have our own homes, take care of our families, take care of the ministry, and make sure that you're pulling your weight, because oftentimes Jake bring a lot of bullshit from the world into the truth, and then they expect brothers to clean that shit up. Well, I'm gonna tell you like this: we're not janitors and we're not cleaning up a grown man's fucking piss or shit because he decides he wants to be baby boy. Now, there are instances that you just have unfortunate circumstances, which we all go through. I myself, I've been in many unfortunate circumstances, and the Spirit delivered me through all of them. But overall, bettering yourself, and if you're trying to better yourself, then hey, nobody can scoff at that. But a lot of times, Jake coming this truth, they've already burnt the bridge to their means, because a lot of Jakes can't get jobs. A lot of Jakes, they don't have their own place. A lot of Jakes have to kind of navigate in what do you call Yaquab, different situations in order to, you know, make ends meet. Which, you know, if it works for you, it works for you. But overall, dealing with that type of stress, and then it leaks out to the brotherhood, and before you know it, you're getting people caught up in your mess when you should have had it together. Now, you getting your shit together, then hey, that's beautiful. That's your pa. But there's a lot of baby boy mentalities in these various camps too. All right. So I looked up what it means to be a man. And what's so funny, I had to figure out how to do or turn off this AI shit, man. I don't know if it's automatically programmed into this algorithm of Google, or it may have been some type of secret update that everything that you do is AI now. Because I notice when I'm on a Facebook and shit, and I'm looking up like on a marketplace to try to buy something, it always search AI. And I don't want that. I just want to search it and be done with it, because we know AI, it records and it records and it mimics your voice, and it sends it back to these disrespective agencies. I'll say it that way. But it says being a man, quote, can have many different meanings, including strength, courage, bravery, and loyalty, which that is what it entails, because those are characteristics that men are supposed to have. But a lot of these characteristics was stripped from the Jake nation, or from our nation, because we didn't have fathers that properly vetted us in the world. And oftentimes the fathers wasn't around because the mother may have pushed them away, or Big Daddy government came in and, you know, got rid of the father. So therefore the men was left to learn the emotions of being effeminate, okay, being overly emotional, okay, what do you call it, microaggressive, just all the wrong emotions, or all the right emotions in the wrong place. Okay, like a man shouldn't have to be aggressive 24/7, because he should be able to let his guard down around the appropriate parties. But Jake walks around with a chip on his shoulders. Man, I'm gonna knock everybody up. Nigga, look at me wrong, I'm gonna shoot him. Okay, that's bad energy. That ain't manly. But it says it can also mean being the strongest person in a room, hiding emotions and embracing the world's downfalls. And that's what the prophets do. Okay, oftentimes we have to subjugate our emotions and deal with the reality, because hey, the reality of it is a lot of people are gonna die. So we can't have a soft approach to that. Like, how can I say? We can't have that lackadaisical approach, or meaning we can't be hurt over stuff like that. I guess I used the wrong words, because when you read in 2 Esdras 14, it says, "Cast off thee the mortal thoughts that are most troubling to thee. Cast off the nature of men." So me knowing that 98% of my family is gonna be put to death, I have to embrace my mind for that, and I can't bug out when it happens. Okay, meaning girding up. All right, it says here's some other ways of being a man can be defined. Generative fatherhood, caring for, leader, and mentoring, which is true. Not being afraid to show yourself, being true to yourself, asking for help, and embracing differences. And a lot of brothers struggle with that, because there's a lot of cultural personalities and there's a lot of code switching. Okay, Babylon has taught us to be the perfect code switches, because you try to adapt or chameleon, or be a chameleon to every situation you in, to avoid criticism, because you're afraid your natural self will be criticized or not accepted. But you can't worry about that, man. And code shifting is something that was put on us by our mothers and shit, man, because we've watched it happen. And just society itself. When you go into an interview, it's nothing but code switching, because now you have to play the quote-unquote professional role when you truly don't feel that way. All right? Recognizing weaknesses, admitting that your weaknesses, and standing up for what's right. Yeah. Certain men be like, yeah, man, I got to get my shit together, man. You know, this ain't right. I don't feel right putting this burden on the brotherhoods. It takes a man to say that, you know? Not fearing failure, trying new things and learning from failure. Yep. Because, hey, this truth, hey, we didn't expect to be teaching this truth, man. But, hey, shit, the Lord said, hey, and to death, embracing service, accepting responsibility, living courageously, and being confident, open and vulnerable, embracing these traits, okay? And it says it means not being afraid to show the world who you are exactly as you are. Being a man is never being afraid to show your emotions, to be the little spoon, to ask for help when you need it, right? Which is, you know, humility. Being a man means rejecting toxic masculinity, which masculinity is not toxic. Embracing the difference of others and uplifting those around you, and that's bullshit. That's some woke bullshit right there. Because being a man means calling the bullshit out, you know? But anyway, let's see what the scriptures say. All right, this is the book of Isaiah 46:10, and it says, remember this and show yourselves men. Okay, for you brothers out there, including myself, hey, we got to do what we got to do. Yeah, we're going to run into downfalls. We're going to run into obstacles. We're going to run into inconveniences. So everything, that this truth has told us, has taught us. But overall, as a man of the Lord, you shall always be working hand and tooth to better your situation. That way you can contribute to the ministry instead of taking away from it more than you offer. Okay, you should be willing to contribute more than asking. Now, like I said, you have different circumstances and brothers do need help, which that's never a problem. But overall, man, Jake, when you go into situations, have an idea or have some type of insight. Like the scriptures say, before you do anything, seek counsel. Okay, if you know that you have to deal with a woman, hey, know what type of woman it is, vet her. This don't solely depend on it, because that can end up bad for you. And then when it ends up bad, you out here without a plan B. Now you have to pretty much land on a doorstep. It takes time, but hey, we can't be no Jodies in this thing, man. We got to be men the best we can. All right, do the best, brothers. Honestly speaking, just my opinion. And I know this is not always possible, because a lot of brothers, a lot of times things happen to the point back in the world that you can't really do nothing, because you didn't done things in the world that hindered your abilities to move forward in life. So now you got to find workarounds, okay? Which oftentimes leads to roadblocks and more roadblocks, but somehow, some way through the spirit, you got to ask the Lord to help you overcome, But it says, remember this and show yourselves men. Bring it again to mind, O ye transgressors. Who was the transgressors? The Israelites. It says, remember the former things of old, for I am Yahweh and there is none else. I am the Most High and there is none like me, declaring the end from the beginning and from ancient times to the things that are not yet done, saying my counsel shall stand and I will do all my pleasure. Right. And we have to be a man to embrace all these things that the Heavenly Father is getting ready to release on this earth. Okay, like famine, holy hell, pestilence, mass death. Okay, the Lord is getting ready to bring mass death to the streets of America and around the world. And your family members, your children could get caught up in that. Okay, so how you gonna take that when it happens? When you get that call, say, hey, yeah, well, your brother, we just found such and such. He overdosed from drinking or something like that, or he died in such and such, or he, whatever. Your sister, you got to be ready to embrace that, man. Okay, throughout all the hurt emotions. First Kings 1 and 2, it says, I go all the way of the earth, be thou strong, therefore, and show thyself a man. Okay, now when you look up the word man, the word goes to the Hebrew word ayash, right? Ayasha, right? Which means a man, in contrast to woman, husband being a person, mankind, champion, great men, okay? A champion. And we're champions within our own right, okay? When you look up the word champion, it goes into a winner, an advocate, and you have to have that winner mentality. Okay, you got to have that doggy mentality, like I'm going to make it through this because I have no choice. Title holder, defending champion, prize winner, and we're all prize winners and winners in the eyes of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, if we are of the elect. Okay, the champion of change, an advocate, okay, a proponent, promoter, a proposer, supporter or standard bearer, torch bearer, flag bearer, defender, protector, upholder, backer, exponent, patron, sponsor, prime mover, okay? And that's the point, so we got to try to, be the best versions of ourselves. Yeah, of course, Babylon throw you shitty ordeals. Some brothers may be homeless for some time. Some brothers may, have issues getting housing and things like that, and they might have to go under other people's roof. And it might not be in the best neighborhoods, but, you got to do what you got to do until you could climb out of that pit, man. Because if you faithful unto Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, he will see that you get out of that jam, man. Just have to pray and fast on it. But the Lord, he will get you out of that jam sooner than later. We just have to learn the repercussions from the things we did. Because a lot of times, Jake may have been in the jam and done some things. And now, like I said, you may have a certain charge that you can't get a certain job. You know what I'm saying? Or you may not have your license may be suspended because you got caught drinking and driving or a DUI or whatever. See, these are things you got to think about, man. Especially when you're in the truth, being circumspect. All right. So this is the book of Joshua 23. And I'm going to start at verses. Joshua's 23, and the point is actually in verses 6. But I'm going to start at verses 3. Matter of fact, let's start at verses 2. It says, and Joshua called for all the Israel and for their elders in their lands, for their judges and for their officers, and said to them, I am old and stricken in age, and ye have seen all that Yahweh your power have done unto all these heathen nations because of you. For the Lord your power is he that have fought for you. So with that being said, that gives you the courage to be manly and courageous, man. Because the scriptures say, gird up thy loins as a man. You know, gird up, you know, do what you got to do. Cry about it, but still, hey, do what you got to do. Behold, I have divided unto you by lot these nations that remain in inheritance for your tribes, from Jordan with the nations that I have cut off, even into the great west sea westward. Because remember, we had to take the land from these heathens, man, and we had to set up our nation. It says, and that took a lot of courage to do that because we were far outnumbered. It says, and the Lord your power, he should expel them from before you and drive them out from your sight, and ye should possess their land as the Yahweh your power have promised you. Okay, so be ye therefore very courageous to keep and do all that is written in the book of the law of Moses, that ye turn not aside therein from the right hand nor to the left. Okay, that ye may come not among these nations, these that remain among you, neither make mention of the names or their gods, nor cause to swear by them, neither serve them nor bow yourselves to them. Okay, and right there's the point of being courageous, man. You know, showing you how about Shem Yahushai that, hey, you're down for the cause. Okay, because hey, we keep the commandments and we believe in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua's holy name, then hey, there's no reason of us to fail. Okay, it's just minor setbacks, but we gonna get through them. Okay, gird thyself. Gird loins, man. Look that up. I think that's Job 40 or Ezekiel. Gird loins. Is it L-O-I? Yeah. There you go. Job 38:3, it says, gird up thy loins like a man, for I would demand of thee, and thou answer me. Meaning, gird up, man. Man up, do what you got to do. Okay, it's nothing wrong with having hurt emotions over things, but at the same time, man, you know, like I said, you want to be more of a help to the body than a burden. It says, gird up thy loins now like a man, and I would demand of thee, and declare thou unto me. Okay, guard your loins, man. 1 Peter 1:13, wherefore gird up the loins of your mind, be sober and hope to the end of the grace that is to be brought unto you at the revelation of Yahushua. Yeah, so in doing this thing, man, you know, telling yourself like, look, this is what I have to do in order for the Lord to count me worthy. You know, we got to do what we got to do in this thing, man. Okay, and oftentimes, men, we're not treated fair. Okay, we bear the responsibility of the entire world on our shoulders, and if it fail, it's our fault. If it succeed, it ain't good enough. So yeah, it's not easy being a man, but hey, if you a man of the Lord, shit, the Lord got us. But with that, call Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Lord's will you edified into the next lesson. Shalom.